you didn't click this by accident. Because right now, there's a voice inside you saying, I don't know how much longer I can keep going. You've been strong for too long, quiet for too long, and tired in ways sleep can't fix. And maybe, just maybe, you feel like God has gone silent. But listen carefully. Long before you felt forgotten, God spoke your name. And He said this, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. This is not just a verse. This is a promise. This is Isaiah 43. And this story is for you. There was a man named Daniel. Not a pastor. Not a preacher. Just an ordinary man living in the middle of an ordinary American city. Traffic, deadlines, bills, noise. From the outside, Daniel looked fine. But inside, something was breaking. Every morning, he sat in his car before work, gripping the steering wheel, staring at nothing. Feeling like he was drowning in a life he never meant to build. He had prayed before. But lately, his prayers felt like words thrown into empty air. God, where are you? No answer. Just silence. One night, exhausted beyond words, Daniel opened an old Bible that had been sitting on his shelf for years. He didn't know why. He didn't flip carefully. He didn't search. The pages fell open on their own. Isaiah. Chapter 43. And his eyes stopped on one line. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. Not if. When. Daniel whispered. So you knew. He kept reading. When you pass through the rivers, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be burned. Daniel felt something shift inside him. Because his life felt exactly like that. Water up to his chest. Fire at his feet. And yet, this verse didn't promise escape. It promised presence. That night, Daniel fell asleep with the Bible still open. And that's when the dream began. Daniel found himself standing near a shoreline. Dark water stretched endlessly before him. The sky was heavy. The wind was loud. Fear crept into his chest. Then, footsteps. Someone was walking toward him, calmly. As if the storm didn't exist. The man wore simple clothes. His eyes carried both fire and peace. Daniel knew without being told. Jesus. Jesus looked at him. Not disappointed, not rushed. Just present. You're afraid of the water, Jesus said gently. Daniel nodded. I don't think I can cross. Jesus smiled, not because the water was small, but because Daniel was not alone. Did I tell you there would be no waters? Jesus asked. No, Daniel whispered. I told you I would be with you. Jesus stepped into the water first. And it didn't part. It rose. Cold. Heavy. Daniel hesitated. Then Jesus turned back and held out his hand. Come, he said. Not because you are strong, but because you are mine. As Daniel stepped forward, the water reached his knees. Then his waist. Then his chest. Panic hit. I can't, Daniel gasped. Jesus' grip tightened. Listen to me, Jesus said firmly. I called you by name before you ever knew mine. The water rose to Daniel's neck. And then Jesus spoke words that sounded older than time. You are precious in my sight. You are honored. And I love you. Suddenly, the water stopped rising. It didn't disappear. But it no longer controlled him. Daniel realized something shocking. The water wasn't there to destroy him. It was there to reveal who was holding him. The scene changed. Daniel now stood before flames. Not wild chaos, but controlled, intentional fire. Fear returned. Why fire too? Daniel asked. Jesus answered softly. Because some things only leave you in the fire. Daniel stepped forward. The flames surrounded him. But they didn't touch him. They touched the chains. Regret. Shame. Old guilt. Fear of failure. One by one, they burned away. Jesus stood beside him the entire time. Not watching from heaven. Standing in the fire. Daniel woke up in tears. Morning light filled the room. The Bible was still open. Isaiah 43. But now, the words were different. They weren't ink on a page. They were alive. Daniel realized something that changed everything. God never promised a painless life. He promised a never alone life. And maybe that's what you need to hear today. You're not weak because you're tired. You're not abandoned because it's hard. And you're not forgotten because the water is deep. If you're walking through something right now, Jesus is not waiting on the other side. He's walking with you through it. If this story spoke to you, don't scroll away. Take a breath. And if you believe, even just a little, that God is still with you, subscribe for stories that bring peace, faith, and strength. Like this video so it reaches someone who feels alone. Comment, "He is with me." Because Isaiah 43 isn't just scripture. It's a promise. And it's still true today.